صباح الخير مساء الفل أينما كنتم، أهلا بيكم في حلقة جديدة من صدمة.
صدمة. شوك.
Hi everyone and welcome to a new episode of Shock Sadma Extra. Today my guest is an esteemed actress, vlogger, social media influencer, TikTok queen, and also a stand-up comedian. She has hundreds and thousands of subscribers and millions of followers on all her social media platforms. Her personality and her infectious mannerism helps discuss many various topics and be able to be accepted by all. Please help me welcome my guest, Ola Roshdi.
Sorry, I felt like it was like a stage thing and you were like, thank you for the introduction.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for coming and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mina. Thank you.
Ola, how are you?
I'm good. لا, I'm good. I'm well. I'm thriving and flourishing and getting like getting to know who I am more and more every day.
Type, that's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. So it's very interesting to know more about ourselves, isn't it?
Absolutely.
نرجع معاكي بقى through the pandemic. When COVID started, أكيد it was hard for everyone وكلنا عدينا بصعوبات وحاجات في حياتنا. إزاي عرفتي تتعاملي في الفترة دي بالنسبة في حياتك الشخصية وعملك؟ How did it affect you and how did it affect your family as well?
It was really, at the beginning, it was like, you didn't really know how long it was going to be. في الأول, it's like, okay, we're going to stay a couple of days home and then the kids are going to stay from school. And then the online was really difficult because we had to like get them used to being on the screen in the morning. And then like I had to be there because they weren't used to opening it. So I had to be there. And then مع الوقت, I think we got used to it and it was fun like being home. But then I had تصوير. Like أول ما بدأ the pandemic, I had Meet Wish in March. كان Ramadan 2020. And it was horrible because it was like things were getting worse, like all over the world. People were dying. People were so scared. It was very... And then at the same time, I had to go أصور and I had to like encounter like ناس كتير قوي. كنا كتير قوي في ميت وش ده قاعدين بقى لازق في بعض every single day. And I had to shoot for like 18 hours وارجع البيت 5 الصبح مثلا, أسيب شنطي على الباب,
Isolate.
أسيب شنطي واجري فوق أخد دش من فوق لتحت every single day, change my clothes, put my clothes in the washing machine, أصحي العيال for the online, نبتدي الأونلاين وبعدين بعد الظهر أروح التصوير. It was very, very difficult because I felt like it was very difficult because you're doing two things and you're so scared the whole time. يعني على طول كنت اللي هو stressed اللي هو I'm gonna get someone sick, I'm gonna be sick. ناس كتير بقى بتعمل and you have to be without the mask because you're acting. احنا قاعدين في يعني مش مثلا you're behind the camera مصور مخرج, لا انت جوه بقى. فسانيتايز بقى سانيتايز ونقعد لا كانت وسوسه يعني.
Did you guys have to get tested too? كان في testings وحاجات كده؟ لا عامة يعني like
only if you're sick يعني.
Oh, that's it.
لا, and even if you're sick, people would be like, no, just a cold, and they'd come back the next day. And if you're sick, I'll be like, I feel like I'm getting. Once I was right before it got really bad, I got sick, and I was like, I think it's corona. I'm really sick. And the production guy called me. He's like, يعني how sick are you يعني؟ قلت له يعني I have a fever. وحاسة إن أنا يعني and then some people I tested. I don't know if I tested. And he's like, طب اقعدي يوم يعني تعالي بقى بعد بكرة. يعني ازاي يعني have to stay at least for a week and I can't. فهم كانت اللي هو مع الوقت اللي هو عادي بقى يعني انزلي بقى التصوير عشان الشغل يعني. فلا it was very. I didn't think we'd finish the show بصراحة. I thought people would like all the actors would be like هنبطل ومخرج بقى كده يعني. بس
and what was more like shocking to you? Was it the work aspect, the issues that were like the circumstances you had to go through for work, ولا more dealing with your husband and your kids and your family generally? Like what was tougher for you?
Work يعني. It was the work part. أنا لازم أنزل and I have to bring all the يعني الجراثيم اللي في التصوير back home. يعني هي دي اللي انا انزل في environment that's you can't control it because you're meeting people from all over the country that you have to that I have to deal with all this. ناس جايه بقى من مدن مختلفه تصور واللي جاي مش عارفه مش you don't know who he's been with and he's been with and وارجعه بقى لعيالي and then I couldn't see my parents at the same time. طول ما انا بصور I couldn't see them and then my kids couldn't see them either. فدي برضو كانت حته كانت صعبه because هما they would go. I remember this very clearly. They used to go ويقفوا على باب بيت اهلي كده البلكونه من بره الازاز and they'd put their like that. هما الاتنين I have a picture هما الاتنين عاملين كده my dad من جوه عامل it was very difficult. Yeah.
Thank you for opening up. Okay, let's switch it up.
Okay.
New York, Brussels, Paris,
the good old days.
Rome. Let's throw Maryland in there.
Yes. إيه ده?
Many places you lived at.
Yes.
You went to Maryland for university,
yes.
right?
Yes, it was the European division though. I was in Belgium.
Okay.
And I went to the European division at Maryland University.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for correcting me.
Yes.
So with that being said, living there and growing up in such environments, was there a shock to you لما رجعتي مصر وعشتي هنا؟ Was it normal؟ كنت دايما بترجعي مصر يعني في خلال حياتك growing up in those places? Was it okay and normal after all of that you just come back and live here as normal? ولا كان في I have to be here now and there's so much I have to get used to?
Yeah, of course. Lala, it was a major culture shock. Especially, we used to come in the summer. But then, because my dad's a diplomat, so every 4 years, we'd come back and live here for 2 years. And then we'd go back. So it was right after New York, actually. I was in 6th grade. Bad 6th grade. We had to come back to Egypt. And I was in a public school in New York, in the suburbs, in Westchester County. It was amazing, public school. All the kids were we used to wear anything, boys and girls. And it was a great life. I learned how to read. We did field trips. It was so much fun. And then after 6th grade, I came back to Egypt and my mom put me into a Catholic Rahibat school, Ramses College.
Oh yeah, and all my cousins went to Ramses College. It's a tough school, eh?
Tough, that was a shock. I had a major shock at about everything because I had a perception that Egypt was something and it was exactly the opposite في كل حاجة. يعني it was even opposite في الأخلاق. فدي حاجة shocked me. I always thought that I was in a school, boys and girls, مش أي حاجة, we're all nothing, boys sitting next to me, comes to my birthday. عادي يعني. I come back here and it's all girls school. والبنات are they do crazy shit. They're it's I used to sit there on the bus and I'm and these girls would throw their numbers and papers to the bus next at the boys' bus from the French school, Collège de la Salle, and I'd be like, what are you girls doing? And then as soon as they'd get on the bus, يروحوا بقى منزلين الشراب لحد تحت. احنا الشرابات بقى كانت لازم هنا وبقى كرافتات وبراون uniform that was horrendous. أيام لا I was مش مساعد. You had to pull your hair back. You can't leave your hair. You can't have an قصة. You can't wear even a headband that's...
Yeah, they're very strict, right?
Very strict. And it was exactly the opposite of where I was. Exactly the opposite. So I had a really tough time even getting to mingle with the girls في أي حاجة. يعني مثلا I'd speak English. It'd be إيه ده أنت عاملة فيها بقى أمريكانية يعني بتتكلمي كده ليه بقى؟ I'd speak Arabic. تعرفيش تتكلمي عربي then they'd make fun of me. عربي إنجليزي. Anything I say is فيها مشكلة يعني.
لحظة تريقة.
كل حاجة even from the teachers. ما هي دي بقى المصيبة اللي هو المدرسين بقى I speak better than them. فهي لما انت بتتكلمي انجليزي احسن من مدرسة الانجليزي she'd be انت هتعملي لي فيها بقى مش عارفة ايه even the French. فلا it was very tough. And then I had I think I had ساعتها I got anxiety كنت بقى I realized this yeah, I had anxiety issues جامدة جدا ساعتها. أنا I didn't even realize this غير مؤخرا لما كبرت وفهمت يعني إيه anxiety أصلا، وإنه ممكن تتسبب من ال it was adolescent. I was a teenager بقى في وقت لا it was
But that's regarding to school. How about life generally, like outside of school? How was your interactions? Was it easier? كانت المدرسة أصعب يعني عن المعاملة مثلا مع القرايب أو الأصدقاء اللي أنت تعرفيهم من يعني؟
Yeah, I think so. I think school was the worst. I think my cousins, I was really good friends with my cousin. She lived close by. Mom and dad. Life was different طبعا because بقى يعني الشارع المصري life was different بس it was nice. لا I like Egypt يعني أنا مصرية وبحب فكنت بحب بقى القرايب وإن إحنا نروح معاهم البلد ونروح معاهم اسكندرية في الصيف. I really like the summers. كنا بننزل عاوزة أشوف my cousins، عاوزين نروح اسكندرية، عاوزين ننزل على الكورنيش، عاوزين يعني لا it was دي كانت حلوة. بس هي المدرسة كانت بس and I stayed 5 years in that school. My sister هربت بقى بعد سنتين. she went to high school في أمريكا وأنا I just stayed and أنا بتأقلم يعني. I'm very good at adapting. I think because I've lived in so many places فأنا عادي يعني ارميني دلوقتي في أي بلد I love it بقى. I love traveling وممكن أقعد في بلد سنة لو فجأة جالي مثلا mission همثل مثلا في حتة أو put on my bag and go in no time anywhere in the world.
May I? Out of topic a bit. I heard you love to travel, like you would travel just to eat.
Yes, this is why I travel to eat. I love food. I love good food and I like to travel to places فيها أكل معين. يعني مثلا Italy, I used to live in Italy with my dad وبحب بقى أسافر مثلا حتة فلورنس فيها مطعم مش عارف إيه فأكل فيه. كان في كده برضو حتة اسمها تور فايانيكا جنب روما had the best seafood on the beach. يا لهوي I could do that. I traveled مؤخرا لوحدي يعني on this trip to Sri Lanka and I had the worst experience ever because the food sucked there. It was nice بقى كان في بقى greenery بس I didn't realize the food was bad قبل ما أروح. If I had known I wouldn't have gone because I travel 60% of my trip is if not 70 is food. يعني لازم يبقى مكان أكله حلو قوي والباقي تمام بقى scenery و greenery وكده بس food is يعني is أساسي يعني.
What about food though? Like what's your favorite? I heard like you're a carnivore.
I used to be. بص I love the meat بس أنا دلوقتي بحاول أقلل because meat بيتعبني يعني بقى يتعبني بقى steaks وكده بس I love yeah كنت لسه في دبي قريب I had the best steaks there بقى و lamb chops وبتاع yeah I love meat yeah بس I love now I like more fruits and يعني breakfast I have like Greek yogurt and fruits and granolas وكده و seafood.
Is it out of awareness or you're just like hey my body's telling me I need to switch it up شوية؟
both يعني out of awareness. أنا بدأت اللي هو لا I need to. وبعدين في رمضان مثلا بطني كانت بايظة طول رمضان because I started eating food that I don't usually eat. بشاميلات بقى وقلت بقى أعمل حاجات بقى فبطني بقى all month كل يوم بقى it's like telling me like انتي بتعملي فيا كده. وانا بقى تاني يوم بقى طب خلاص انا نمت وصحيت بقى وبعدين انا صايمه فاجي على الفطار بقى اروح ده لا الشهر كله كان يعني مأساة. فدلوقتي بقى ارجع بقى to the routine يعني.
Okay, that sounds great. You started your passion. Not necessarily I know if it's for acting or film and cinema generally at a very young age. I heard the age of 3, I heard elementary school, but you're here, you can clarify.
It was elementary school, yeah, 3rd grade. And 3 and يعني هو mixed مع It was in 3rd grade actually when I went to America. أول ما رحت نيويورك I didn't know أصلا that something like acting existed. Like I didn't even know like what was a theater. Didn't know anything. I just went and I had just switched from French school to English school. So my English was zizazi and it was very like كده. And then I went and they had something called a story telethon where you tell a story and you get grades وبتاع on it. The class بقى grades you وبتاع. And I won it. I won the story telethon competition. I won the trophy and it was the first time I did it with my zizazi English. And كان في مسرح a play and I got in the play and I did this like happy medium fortune teller and I was like what is this the stage what is this like I didn't know what it was but I was like this is what I want to do. كنت عاوزة أمثل مسرح يعني this is what I wanted to do and I didn't really know this existed وإن في حاجة اسمها أصلا إن أنتي تشتغلي لما تكبري ممثلة أو تقفي على مسرح عشان عامة you see your parents يعني my parents my dad's a diplomat my mom has a PhD يعني بتشتغل بقى دكتور مهندس بتشتغلي دبلوماسية بتشتغلي يعني واحدة بتعملي ريسيرش وحاجات بقى
family expectation.
يعني انا الممثلة دي محدش عندنا في العيلة خالص بيشتغل ممثل فانا ما اعرفش ده ايه يعني بس I told my dad انا عاوزة اقف على المسرح انا عاوزة امثل فقعدت امثل في مدرسة وبعدين لما رحت بلجيم كملت مسرح وحاجات كده but then my dad never thought that I would do this اصلا برضو يعني he was very يعني supportive بس ما كانش اللي هو مش هتدرسي مسرح يعني.
Did he have his own idea for your future?
طبعا he wanted me to be a diplomat زيه and then he's like لا be a lawyer because you're so good at like I was like I don't اعمل lawyer ازاي and then he my first job was at a bank كلمني حد بقى صاحبه اشتغلت في بنك بقى هنا ورحت اول يوم ضربت البدله اول يوم نزلت انا مش راجعه المكان ده تاني مش واشتغلت actually في law firm in Belgium with a friend of his رحت برضو and the highlight of the day was lunch عشان كان هو الباص كان بياخدني to the small we used to have this like crab sandwiches it was amazing crabs by the highlight I was like انا رايحه بروح اقعد اصور ورق طول اليوم النهارده when's lunch okay اروح بقى يجيب لي بقى crab sandwich it was amazing I was like yes I had the best day ever وارجع تاني يوم بقى wow the crab sandwich وبعدين مره بقى صورت صور كده صورت ورق غلط فالراجل زعق لي I was like لا انت هتزعق لي ولا ايه لا فمشيت بقى ان انا had my own بقى crab sandwich ابقى اروح المول بقى اخد crab sandwiches بتاعتي I was like لا انا بصور لك كده يعني ما تفتكرش انا هاجي فبس that was the end of that يعني جربت كذا مرة بس لا I was always like I don't know how I was always like this is not what I'm gonna do I'm gonna be on stage I want to act I want to perform.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So it started on the stage essentially.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah. And how did the other stuff come about? I heard that you had it's called Big Owl.
Mad Owl, yes, Mad Owl Productions, yeah.
And I heard you were taking care of a Tom Hanks movie at a certain time as well. Yes. So what was that all about?
Because see, when I came back to Egypt, after I graduated, and then I went to Italy for a bit, and then I wanted to get into acting, but the truth is, I didn't know anyone here. And I'm not in the field ولا my parents ولا I don't know how to get into acting. So I came and I'm like how am I gonna act؟ هعمل ايه يعني ما اعرفش حد بقى هروح معهد فنون مسرحية انا مش عارفة اعمل ايه. I met a family friend كده قال لي طب تحبي تشتغلي في الاعلانات؟ قلت له اعمل ايه؟ قال لي تشتغلي تمسكي accounts وكده account handler بقى executive in an advertising agency. I was like ماشي انا ما اعرفش اصلا دي يعني ايه فاشتغلت في طارق نور. That was my first job and I was like طيب maybe I should have like I don't know then بقى maybe let's not say should have and could have and would have بس no regrets بس يعني I went there and I was really good مشكلة and I'm really good at many things يعني maybe دي مش مشكلة بس هي خلتني أشتغل في حاجات أنا not necessarily my passion بس I was really good at it when you're really good at it and you're getting paid and you're just like and people are like you're so good at it كملي I became like an account executive and then an account supervisor and an account manager ومسكت بقى حاجات and then I used to go to meetings and PPMs وأعمل and then I'm like this is not what I want and then the best part was the productions في الموضوع بقى أنا أروح أحضر تصوير إعلان I'm like oh my god this is so close to what I want to do it's like close to acting طب what am I gonna do فنقلت على production I did a production with the production team and then I'm like you know what I'm not gonna do this I'm gonna work in production so I went to Italy and I learned filmmaking I took like 3D courses and I learned Italian and I was like okay let me get into filmmaking maybe filmmaking is closer to acting so I did this I learned some stuff came back اشتغلت مع طارق العريان في فيلم السلم والتعبان and that was my first acting experience I was in the production team أصلا and this is how I got in I was in the production team بتاع الفيلم وكنت شغالة في production في الشركة and I'm like بس أنا wanna act أنا مش عاوزة هعمل إيه يعني I was on this location recce trip with the director أنا كنت ماسكة scouting بتاع locations وفتحت السكريبت أنا like I have to find a role I have to tell him I have to مش عارفة إيه I found this role it wasn't too big
so you approached them
yeah I approached them في الأتوبيس في الميكروباص وإحنا في الطريق I'm like في حد بيعمل الدور ده فقال لي لا يعني بس انتي بتعرفي تمثلي؟ قلت له اه بعرف امثل، عاوز امثل. فقال لي طب قولي لي كده، فقريت له كده I just read يعني ده كان هايل برافو. and then back then كان في حركه كده بقعد اعملها بعيني like اي حد يضايقني I'd be like whatever.
Yeah, you roll your eyes kind of.
Yeah, I roll my eyes like in this way كده. فقال لي خلاص لو عملتي الحركه دي في الفيلم I'll give you the role. قلت له بس كده اعمل الحركه دي في الفيلم يعني. فعملت الحركه دي ف I got the role. بس بص I felt I struggled so much. It's been a struggle and a shock because now I'm more like يعني what can I say like راضية و I'm more يعني عاقلة و I'm more stable وأقدر I'm doing things more with my mind ويعني بس few years back it's like what the hell happened يعني اللي هو why am I not يعني أنا ليه مش بمثل الحاجات اللي أنا عاوزة like اللي هو it's a long process. People think acting is easy. الناس بتفتكر إنه الممثل ده سهل. طلعت بقى ما طبعا بقى ما يعني لما بيشوفوني مثلا طبعا ما هي تلاقيها عارفة مش عارفة مين وهي دي بتمثل ليه أصلا أو اللي هو لا أنا طلع عيني عشان آخد كل دور عملته وكل opportunity جات لي تعبت جدا عشان تجيلي. It's not an easy ride وما زلت يعني it's not like دي مشهورة على ايه هي بتعمل ايه اصلا. لا على فكرة لا انا يعني كل الناس اللي بتشتغل في المجال ده فحروا في الصخر وطلع عينهم بجد. it's not an easy ride وفي الشغلانة نفسها صعبة يعني لما يجيلك بقى الدور نفسه عشان تعمله وعشان الناس تشوفك وعشان لا يعني it's so difficult and it's a struggle. من ساعتها من بعد الفيلم ده عملت كذا فيلم الدور اتشال كله منه for some reason ماليش دعوه بيا بس هو فيلم كان طويل قوي فاضطرينا نشيل المشاهد. فيلم تاني مش عارفه ايه لا مش عارفه ايه حصل ايه فلا خلاص داخله اصور لا جابوا حد تاني.
مفاجآت كتيره
and then along the road بقى يعني لما بتكبري بقى you're like what the hell like and then you're like لا الحمد لله اكيد there's a reason for everything. اكيد there's a reason why I'm here today and there's a reason why I did all the stuff that's gonna lead to something exceptional like amazing one day.
No, you're doing amazing stuff already. وأحلى حاجة أنت قلتيها إن أنت راضية.
طبعا you have to have يعني رضا كده ورضا بس ambition برضه يعني مش رضا ولو بقى خلاص بقى أنا راضية لا يعني رضا و grateful. You have to be grateful all the time وتشكر ربنا دايما على اللي عندك في كل حاجة personal level عشان ربنا بيدي يعني 24 قيراط كده فانتي عندك حاجة مش انا ليه ما عنديش ده لا بس انتي عندك ده وعندك ده وعندك ده. فكل يوم الواحد لازم يفكر نفسه بالحاجات الحلوة اللي عنده in the personal life في الورك وفيكي انتي كبني ادم انا الحاجات اللي فيا انا اللي ربنا مديهاني you know
your health you know everything else right
your breath your health your smile your eyes you can see ايديكي رجلك انت قاعده بلعب رياضه I can wake up in the morning and drink you know my drinks I can لا يعني it's a blessing يعني الحمد لله it's a blessing.
يا رب دايما. تمام. On your channel وجهة mother
yes
a mother's point of view yes. Isn't that right
yes.
A mother's perspective. You talk about a lot of topics. Some could be a bit controversial. Yeah. I'm sure that during like after those episodes you might be getting some pushbacks on what was discussed. Maybe you'll get like some weird messages, you know, regarding to what the topic was all about and what you did in that episode. How do you handle that type of stuff when people just come to you and be like, hey, you shouldn't be talking about this, that shouldn't be the conversation, whatever they decide to tell you.
بقى a lot of negative comments. بس في الأول كنت بتعصب يعني at first I was like ايه ده مش عارفة ايه and then I used to like you know like answer back like and then أمسح بقى be like كل بقى اللي أنا عاوزة أقوله كل بقى everything I want to tell them be like you and then I'd be like and then I'd like erase and then ساعات كنت بسيبها and then my social media manager would be like انت يعني امسحيها يعني اكتبها ابعتها and then I tell her by the way I just sent this رد على she'd be like what where what and then I'd show her she'd be like شيليها دلوقتي حالا and then now I just like embrace it and I like laugh about it and I'm like you know خليهم يعني في ناس عيني غلابة يعني هم this is how they think, this is they're limited في تفكيرهم، هم شايفين ده من وجهة نظرهم، كل واحد عنده وجهة نظر برضو. فأنا يعني أنا بعمل حاجة بحاول يعني أفيد الناس وأضحكهم في نفس الوقت، حاجة in a light way that will make them like reflect على حاجات يمكن يتعلموا حاجة، يمكن ينبسطوا خلاص. فأم doing it بنية حلوة، يعني my intention is good, I have a good intention. فخلاص بدل ما أنا نيتي كويسة أنا مش هثبت لحد إن أنا نيتي كويسة. I can't make everyone happy. You can never make every single person in the world مبسوط قوي باللي أنا لا يعني فخلاص I just let it go. I'm like and I don't read anymore and I stopped really reading. يعني ممكن ابتدي مثلا one comment and then لو لقيت حاجة بقى بدك تروح قافلة. I'm like خلاص let it be, whatever they want to think they can think. It's not my I don't really care. يعني هم مش من بقية أهلي أنا يعني وبراحتهم يعني كل واحد براحته يفكر زي ما.
Fair enough. No, it's very natural. يعني like I too. يعني اللي هو if I read anything that's negative, right? Like I being young and getting into this podcasting life of mine, and sometimes people are just like not happy with whatever they may not be. It doesn't get to me per se, but I'm like kind of questioning like why, right? Like I'm trying to discuss something positive. I'm trying to provide help. I thought that would be good. But at the end of the day, just like you said, some people have different ways and perspectives, and we can respect that. And at the end of the day, just be able to deal with, all that stuff, and you just grow out of it, right? Essentially, just like you said, it gets to you first, but then you just grow, be like, hey, whatever.
The best thing is that it doesn't really get to you. You shouldn't like take it at heart because it brings you down. ساعات الحاجات دي you believe it. يعني if you don't have the confidence and if you don't believe in yourself enough and you don't فغصب عنك الحاجات دي will be like maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not that يعني maybe I'm not that funny. Why am I trying to make them like laugh? Maybe I'm not that maybe the topics are not that. No, I shouldn't be talking about this stuff. عندهم حق. أنا مالي أنا أصلا your mind keeps like playing games on you. You need to like shut it and be like you need to keep going no matter what. No matter who tells you what, just don't give up because هم مش انت اصلا يعني هم مش انت وانت this is something you want to do. It's your هم لهمش دعوه. في الاخر كل واحد قاعد على الكرسي عنده في البيت فاهم اللي قاعد على الكنبه اللي قاعد بقى بيلعب في مناخير كل واحد قاعد بقى في حته وانت اللي بتشتغل. You're the one who's doing a مجهود في الحته اللي انت بتعملها دي. So no matter what anyone thinks you need to keep going. بس كده because في الاخر انت اللي عاوز تعمل ده and you'll make it. If you have a will you have a way.
100%. At the end of the day, God brought it to you, not them, right?
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Keep going.
Yeah, 100%. طيب تمام. You also discussed the culture differences between men and women.
Yeah.
Egypt versus abroad.
Yeah.
What's your take? Like, how is that? Like, how is that? Like, perspective is culturally a shock between here and abroad. I live abroad, so it's very hard for someone that lived all their life over there to come and be able to do what we do here and live, excuse me, and live the lifestyle and the way we do. And it's also sometimes very hard for people here to emulate what they do there, whether men or women.
هو بص يعني هو الميزة طبعا or ما اعرفش هي ميزة ولا لا بس اللي هو I lived abroad when I was young, not when I was married with kids. So it's different. It's a totally different. يعني good thing. It's not that I was there when I was older, because then I wouldn't have been able to. Because here it's a totally different. يعني the man, there's a lot of things that they don't do, that they do abroad. هنا احنا متدلعين. يعني الرجالة متدلعة واحنا متدلعين بصراحة. مش هم بس. يعني احنا متدلعين كطريقة عيشة. يعني we have someone that cleans. We have someone بيكوي لنا الهدوم. We can get someone that cooks if we want. ممكن نجيب meals من برا that are much cheaper than برا to do this. يعني you get help. هنا we have help. We have our parents. We have the family. And the man is the man. يعني يعني هنا the man is used to being how he was brought up. He was brought up not to do anything. يعني he was brought up إن مامته بتعمل له كل حاجة يا أخته بتعمل له كل حاجة. فهو نايم معك هو تمام يعني مامته ليه حبيبي خليك انت انا اعمل لك الغداء اعمل لك it's hard to change them as much as nobody changes but it's easy for them to adapt. يعني شوية بشوية اللي هو I'd love, you know, for the men to be more involved. Like I like the family to be a family, and even the kids. I'd like them to do stuff for themselves. I'd like my son to be able to wash his plate, you know, إنه يعني يشيل حاجته. Whoa.
That's okay.
الحتة دي أصلا كانت قوية قوي.
I saw the show the other day when I was just researching you, and there was like a competition between you and your daughter, I think, and you said if you lost, you would have to like wake up for the next month and take care of your like wake up, get ready for school and stuff like that. It was like a joke, right? Like, but in real life, are you kind of like, hey, I want you to be independent?
Of course, my daughter is already independent. See, the point is the girls are independent. Women in Egypt are independent. They grow up to, I think they're fighters and they need to maybe prove themselves in a man's world, or like, I don't know how it is, but يعني, my daughter Talali, she's independent. She wakes up and she prepares her stuff. Her room is very clean. She's organized. She does her own bag when she's traveling. She does her own bag for school. يعني هي يعني ما شاء الله, she's independent and she's organized وكل حاجة. Responsible. Well, I hope my son becomes like that too. هو لسه he's younger. بس هما they're laid back. ما اعرفش, هو he's a bit laid back. ما اعرفش, حاسس بقى ان الناس بتعمل له كل حاجة ولا ان انا بعمل له حاجته, يعني ما اعرفش. بس yes, I'd love for them to be both of them, because eventually انا بالنسبة لي by 18 لما يخشوا جامعة I want them out. يعني بالنسبة لي انا مش عاوزة يبقى عنده 30 سنة وقاعد معايا في البيت, because انا مش هبقى في البيت. يعني فكرة انا في البيت دلوقتي عشان انا مضطرة ابقى في البيت عشان هم في البيت. they're young, فانا فجأة my lifestyle بقى بيتوتي. يعني بقى في اكل في البيت, بنعمل اكل, بنام بدري عشان بصحى 6 الصبح. بس انا this is not my lifestyle. انا احب اسافر, you know, I'd like to work more. I'd like to get to اسافر, اشتغل برا, اسافر ازور بلاد. I'd want to venture into more opportunities في الشغل. اسافر اصور حاجه like I want to be out. I don't want to be.
Yeah, you want to be more engaged in your career, into the things that you want to do.
Absolutely. عاوزه اروح اتفرج على مسرحيات, عاوزه اتفرج على shows, عاوزه I want to be more involved. I didn't get to do that قوي قبل. يعني I didn't realize that لما اخلف I wouldn't be doing that. I wasn't قبل كنت عادي بشتغل وبروح وباجي. I was always out. I'm not the house type. يعني مش هقعد في البيت بقى ويعني الولاد دخلوا الجامعه وهقعد جنبي. يعني انا مش من. فعاوزاهم هم يبقوا برضو, لا من دلوقتي بقول لهم اصلا من اول ما من هم صغيرين, يلا بقى عشان تشوفوا تخشوا جامعه فين, تسافروا وتعيشوا بره لوحدكم وكده. يعني go out and like explore the world.
Do you want them to live abroad when they get older, or do you want them to stay?
I wanted them to live abroad, بس I think they يعني خايفه يكون هم اللي هو فجاه لا انا عاوزين نقعد. حسيت فجاه لا ما انا عاوزه ارجع بقى عشان ترجعي تعملي ايه يا بنتي كده. هم اللي هم عاوزينه. يعني I'd want them to go abroad, يدرسوا بره ويقعدوا بره على قد ما هم عاوزين. يعني والله عاوزين يرجعوا يفيدوا بلدهم, اهلا وسهلا. عاوزين يقعدوا بره بس يبقوا هم اللي هم عاوزينه يعملوه, ويبقوا مسؤولين ويبقوا independent ويبقوا قادرين يشتغلوا ويعيشوا نفسهم. انا مش عايز حد يجي يقول لي انا ما هاتي فلوس. لا, ما هاتي فلوس دي, ما احنا بقالنا 18 سنه بنعمل كده. يعني بعد 18 سنه you need to find a job جنب حتى دراستك. اشتغل.
Get a part-time job.
Get a part-time job. ماكدونالدز, اي حاجه. يعني اشتغل, ماشي حالك بقى خلاص. يعني
ما دي الحياه بره مختلفه تماما عن الكالتشر هنا طبعا.
هنا I think الاهالي بيبقوا عايزين يعلموا يقعدوا معاهم اكتر وقت ممكن. فاهم؟ يعني يعملوا لهم بقى الملوخيه والرز والفراخ واللي يطبخوا لهم. فاهم؟ اعمل لك يا حبيبي مكرونه بشاميل اللي بتحبها. يعني انا بحاول ابقى كده دلوقتي because I want them to live the full experience. عايزهم يحسوا ان لا في بيت وفي غدا وفي فطار وعشاء. مش هسيبهم بقى كده يعني. بس عاوزاهم لما يكبروا ما يبقوش متعودين انه I'll always be there for them. وباباهم هيبقى دايما there for them, بس they need to be يعني independent يعني.
100%. And since we're talking about your kids, let's just talk about all the amazing TikTok stuff that you do with them.
يا ده بنتي بقى هي تيك توك برو بقى هي.
Let me tell you, my wife and my kids, they watch you guys religiously.
No way.
No, they love you guys. How is that? And will that change as they grow up and go through different stages in their lives? You and them doing all this social media stuff together and just having fun?
Yeah, I think like وجهة نظر أنا بدأته when the kids were really young. كانت بنتي عندها مثلا 4 سنين ولا ابني سنة يعني or even before he was born. فساعتها I could manipulate them. لا I was able to like get them to يصوروا معايا عشان كانوا معايا فأنا بصور معاهم فعادي إيه أقول له قول يا حبيبي كذا قول يا حبيبتي كذا لما كبروا شوية they don't want to be يعني ابني مثلا he doesn't like to be on the screen.
Is he shy?
He used to be shy but he doesn't like to be. هو بيحب يصور. He likes to edit. He's behind the camera. يحب بقى into بقى graphics like he likes to.
He's into the intricate stuff.
جدا. الحاجات اللي هي الهندسيه اللي ورا الكاميرا فانا ما اقدر كل شويه اقول له اصور لا I don't want to be مش عارفه ايه ساعات بيبقى عاوز وساعات لا بس I can't I have to ask them يعني لما وصلوا سن معين كده بس لا لما حد يقول لي مثلا هاتيهم معاكي انترفيو I'm like I have to ask them هم لو عاوزين يعني مثلا طلعنا مع سعاد يونس قلت لها لا هسالهم بس الاول يعني ممكن ف they were very like متحمسين يلا I was like ماشي بس if they say no I can't force them.
بتحترمي رأيهم وبتدعميهم يعني.
بالظبط وبنتي بقى هي she does TikToks with her friends أصلا فأنا بتدخلني معاها يعني كده في كذا حاجة فأنا بقول لها طب تعالي معايا بترضى وساعات بقى يعني لا إيه ده you don't know how to do this كده يعني until she decides that she doesn't want يعني I don't force her يعني ساعات بتقولي طب يلا نعمل ده أقول لها مثلا فكري في فكرة مثلا العيد جاي فكري في حاجة نعملها with the family مش عارفة إيه and then I'm like فكري تعالي نعمل دي and then we do it كده بس I can't يعني make her يعني هم كل واحد حسب هم عاوزين يعملوا ايه يعني.
Fair enough. No, it's 100% right. وفكرة بقى your mother of course. How did that come about? You know, like of course.
Being a mother?
No, not being a mother. The show. The show. Like what triggered it for you? Being a young mom, was that it?
No, actually, I wanted to do things for kids. I've been wanting to do material like content for kids and I still do. فقبل حتى ما اخلف I was like انا عاوزه اعمل حاجه للاطفال and I had so many ideas and I brought them out to different things and they never worked out and everyone would tell me like kids don't have a market like nobody wants to brand things for kids no marketing for I'm like ازاي اذا كان العيال it's the biggest market لا I was like طب خلاص how about I do something for moms maybe when I do something for moms ادخل فيها kids and then I can get like sponsors or whatever so that's how it started and then I was just and then social media بدأ ساعتها it was really in like لما أنا خلفت 2011 it was like ساعتها I don't know أصلا ما كانش حد على السوشيال ميديا ساعتها خالص ولا أنا كنت فاهمة إن في حاجة اسمها كده بس كان معايا ماي فون أنا had Facebook and YouTube and I was like طب ما and then I started أصور حاجات ideas like إيه ده مش عارفة إيه وصار بالعيال and I had someone edit them for me and it was like طب يلا هعمل حاجة episodes kids motherhood وجهة نظر this is how it came about it was just very كده spontaneous وجت كده يعني.
طيب awesome. It's time for that all important question so we're gonna leave the fun stuff to the side.
Okay.
بصي بقى بالنسبة لعلا as an individual as a professional as a family member ايه حصل في حياتك سبب لك مش هقول صدمة قوي بس it was a great situation where you had to change everything about you like the way you think the way you communicate the way like just like your perspective has like something sometimes in our lives things happen where we're like okay no I need to make a serious change now because this will not work for me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's good that you put it that way. It's actually, like, I never thought about it that way. But now that you're asking this question,
you take care of everyone.
Everyone. أي حد عنده مشكلة يرجع لي أي حاجة عاوز تتعمل حاجة حكومية حاجة مش أي حاجة يعني.
You try to take ownership to help.
Because I've been thinking there is no really shock, but it happened I think like last year. But it's like very subliminal message. It's not something like direct that happened. It's like I need to change. But it's actually realizing that I am not like happy or not like fulfilled through work, and that I'm being like taken for granted in my life, in my personal life, with everyone around me, that I'm being too nice, that I'm not giving myself what I deserve, that I'm putting myself last قبل كل الناس. يعني this is when I think last حاجة كده I started اللي هو مش مبسوطة، حاسة ان انا I'm not content with my work، مفيش رضا قوي يعني، دايما اللي هو thinking of why didn't this happen, why couldn't have been مش عارفة ايه، ليه ما عملتش كده بقى. You're always like thinking, your mind is like negative thoughts about why am I not, you know, I'm getting older ومش عارفة. and then you know you start getting bad thoughts, and then you start like تقفي بقى في حتة, you're stuck, you're not like why am I stuck, you know, why am I stuck, why am I not moving forward, why is my career not, why am I. And then I started, I was like, I need to work on myself. So I started doing these like online quests, things like self-development, reading things about self-development, and start putting myself first. I was like, أنا هعمل حاجات لنفسي بغض النظر عن what people think or what they, you know, like my kids would be like, أنتي بقى مش عارفة إيه. Because I'm always with them. فهم بقى when I go do something for myself, they're like, ايه ده بقى وانتي بقى ليه انتي قاعدة طول النهار بتعملي ايه؟ هنروح مثلا انتي what do you do؟ فأم like لا يعني ايه what do I do؟ ففجأة حسيت وبرد عليهم بقى، لا أصل أنا معلش أصل أنا لا. لقيت نفسي I'm even answering them. They don't even have the right to ask a question like that. ولا إن أنا أجاوبهم أصلا. ففقت بقى. I'm like لا I need to like كده structure things. I need to put myself first. Even with my husband, with my kids, with my friends, with my parents, with my work, with anything بقى حاجات بتطلب مني تتعمل. دايما أنا في العيلة I'm the one, you know, the bearer of, I take ownership and they give me the load, you know, اللي هو لا تعالي انتي. Even my sister, she lives in Switzerland, فأنا اللي ماسكة لها حاجاتها هنا. بتنزل مصر بقى الزف بقى اللي هو ايه ده علا فين هروح ازاي هعمل ايه كده. it's.
May I? Is that feeling, was that only a last year feeling or is that a build-up?
So this was it was a build-up, of course, of years of my life. The build-up of حياتي كلها تقريبا من ساعة ما اتولدت وانا I'm just doing things. يعني لما بابايا قال لي مثلا to go work in the bank، لما رحت اشتغلت في law firm ده، لما I didn't study cinema or acting and I really wanted to. بس my dad was like لا cinema acting إيه تدرسي business زي العادي يعني the parents، وبعدين تبقي بقى اعملي اللي انت عاوز تعمليه. And I gave in. I was just like, I was young and it's okay, it happens. But I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't.
Yeah, that's sad, right?
Yeah, and I didn't really know what else to do. I didn't know better. يعني it's not like I had options in front of me or I was. ساعتها بقى ما كانش فيه the net. There was no internet. There was no awareness of, you know, that you can actually.
You can go talk to someone and be like, hey, what other programs are there, right? Like, what are my interests and where can I put myself,
yes.
Right? I kind of figured that out after I finished university as well, right? So it's sad.
It's sad because I was like, my dad's like, روحي بقى الجامعة دي اهي موجودة أختك داخلاها وخلاص business. Okay. I was just like, I was always like an okay person, you know. I was always like بسمع كلام دايما يعني. I was always like okay. اعملي مش عارفة ايه. Okay بس أنا عاوزة أعمل ده مش عارفة ايه. لا طب خلاص okay. يعني it was like, you know, you weren't. It's a good thing that I even worked in this field that I love, because knowing my past, I could have just been like, okay, أشتغل في البنك. I could have just been still there. But I think I had inside me, deep inside, something that was a calling that's still there. That's like, every time I say, خلاص بقى كملي في production, because I had a production house, you know. After that, I worked in production, and I was so good at it, and everyone's like, oh my God, you're one of the best producers in Egypt. When people tried to بقى يخشوا معايا partners, and I partnered up with big producers now. بس سبتهم يعني. I was like لا أنا this is not يعني what كل شوية I'm like, but this is not. I don't want to be stuck in a business type of thing, because I don't want to. I want to be free. I want to do art. I want to be creative. I want to let out my, you know, myself and my passion out there يعني. Just recently, I was like, Ida, what am I doing? Why am I stuck in this area? And why am I pushing في حاجة ما بتمشيش برضو. يعني you know like مثلا if I'm getting roles that I don't like, why am I not getting the roles I like? Why am I not getting the roles I like? I'm pushing في حتة I believe is very narrow, اللي هي حتة مثلا مسلسلات رمضان. It's so narrow. يعني بالنسبة لي أنا when I looked at the bigger picture I'm like مسلسلات رمضان إيه اللي أنتي يعني حشرة نفسك فيها؟ يعني no even أنا متعبة جدا. يعني أنا تعبت جدا في 100 وش ده، تعبت جدا في التصوير. and it wasn't all fun and games يعني. طب أنتي ليه why do you want to get back into this؟ طب ما في platforms أكبر دلوقتي. the sky's the limit. وبعدين I speak languages. ممكن أطلع أمثل برا، ممكن أطلع أعمل my own أعمل shorts، أعمل independent movies، ممكن أعمل حاجات على نتفليكس، ممكن أعمل حاجات على يعني أنا بس كنت I was too into the competition, I think, the local competition. And then رجعت للstand up comedy because I had stopped that for so many years, maybe like 15 years. I stopped it because of fear. I was so scared of being out there and trying to make people laugh. And I'm like لا 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 الناس مش هتضحك. I'm not that funny. هقعد اكتب انا my own stuff واطلع. لا I had fear rather than my capabilities and who I am and being true to myself and that I'm so much more than that. I believe I'm so much more than this. لا 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 for years كل شوي حد يقول لي بنتي you're really good in stand you're funny. I'm like يعني ماشي بس يعني ما هو في funny لا بس يعني I'm not that يعني هطلع اعمل ايه يعني why would I لا I just want to act. فكنت حشرة نفسي في الحتة دي and then stand up كمان has another a big you know broad spectrum you could تفتحي في حتة and then كنت بقعد بقى يعني I let my mind make me believe things you know لما تبقى عندك fixated كده افكار مثبتات انت فاكرها من زمان وحطيتها في مخك عايشه معاك. يعني في حاجات من زمان اللي هو لا هي كده اهلك قايلينها لك انت شايفها. انا مثلا ستاند اب كوميدي ده بالنسبه مش حقيقه. ستاند اب كوميدي ده بالنسبه لي اللي هو لا هو الممثل بيبدا يعمل ستاند اب وبعدين بيمثل. يعني كل ستاند اب كوميديز they want to act eventually يعني. فانا ام لايك طب انا ليه هرجع للستاند اب وانا اوريدي بمثل؟ لا انا مش هعمل ستاند اب بيكوز انا اوريدي بمثل. فقعدت بقى سنين انا مش هرجع للستاند اب عشان انا اوريدي بمثل. ليه هحط نفسي طب ما انا اوريدي بمثل why would I؟ بس actually it's fun. It's something, it's a part of me and I love doing it. Who cares ان انا already بمثل او انا already ما انا عندي different platforms. يعني I'm on social media, have my show on YouTube. I'm really good on social. I love doing things there like content. I'm a stand-up comedian, okay, and I'm an actress and it's okay now we're in the 2023. احنا مش زي زمان لما ادي ميرفي مثلا بدأ يعمل stand-up عشان حبيبي يمثل. يعني هو احنا دلوقتي we're a different era. Everything is different. وما تبقاش عارف maybe stand up comedy ده تجيب لي حاجة that I would have never imagined through my shows. maybe I had to look at the bigger picture. I had to أطلع برا الإزازة اللي أنا كنت حاطة نفسي فيها دي and then I started doing podcasts. يعني أقابل ناس قبل كده كل ما حد يقول لي مثلا تعالي اعمل تلفزيون لا 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 تعالي اعمل لا مع إن I'm not like that بس I don't know لقيت نفسي فجأة لا I don't want to do an interview لا مش هطلع مش عارفة ايه لا ما الناس already عارفاني. طب انا هطلع اقول ايه جديد؟ طب ما فيش حاجة ممكن افيد بيها. لسه هروح وهقعد وهعمل كده. I used to be very negative بقى. اي حد يقول حاجة اقول له no and then I'm like you know what I'm just gonna say yes. يعني to anything that comes I'm just gonna say yes and see what happens. And I've met so many amazing people through this بجد. يعني لما بدأت بقى اعمل podcast people like you know I've met fun people وفتحت لي بواب even on a personal level. هي مش لازم تبقى شغل، مش لازم يبقى انا هقابل حد عشان يجيب لي مش عارفه ايه. لا absolutely and that's a part of life. يعني I've learned through the years انه it's not all about مين اللي هيجيب لي ايه. يعني مش لازم اروح اخرج خروجه عشان مستنيه حد في الحفله المنتج بقى اللي انا لازم اروح اسلم عليه عشان هيجيب. لا ما فيش حاجه اسمها لا. You have to be true to yourself and you have to be real and you have to believe in yourself and you be yourself. انا هنا انا عاوزه ابقى هنا انا عاوزه انبسط. والله حد جه كلمني اهلا وسهلا. قابلت حد جديد اهلا وسهلا. حد مصدق فيا اهلا وسهلا. مش مصدق فيا برضو اهلا وسهلا. يعني فاهم هو كده يعني.
No, I love that. No, it's honest and thank you for your honesty. Ola.
Yes.
Do you have like a morning ritual or a morning routine where you're like, hey, I need to start this day on a positive note?
Yes.
What do you do?
مؤخرا بقى I have this like this is what keeps me like going, and it's amazing. I try to even wake up like a bit before the kids, at least just an hour or half hour علشان أقدر أعمل this routine that I could stay for 5 hours على فكرة. And if I had the time I could like I like to wake up and then I take a shower and then I pray and then I meditate for like 10 minutes كده on these certain يعني meditations about the day, how the day will evolve, how will you the things that I want to do, about being grateful. I write back or I'd say it in my mind 3 things I'm grateful for كل حاجة, every aspect of my life. And then I do like a certain self-development quest. I learn something new. I try to read like 5 pages in anything. And then I have like an hour where I want to write. I don't do it every day, but عاوز أكتب بقى stand-up comedy, like write. Because when I write, topics come up and I can develop my acts يعني. I say like I need to write قبل ما ابتدي اليوم بقى. قبل ما ابتدي اليوم I do this stuff and then I look in the mirror every day now and I say that I'm enough. I'm worthy and I don't need anyone to validate anything. I'm the way I am and that I love myself. يعني دي حاجة اتعلمتها from one of the quests, that you like look into your eye in the mirror and you tell yourself I love you like 10 times, and then you like really like في الأول I'm like yeah whatever بقى love you بقى نقعد نبص على المراية يعني بقى this بقى حاجة بقى يعني لا في الأول the stuff was like وانا صغيرة وانا younger I'm like يا ديني بقى نقعد ان الراجل بقى يقول لك love you وام grateful ماشي شكرا ميرسي حلو قوي الكلام ده بقى. And then now really it really like maybe now I'm mature or I don't know what it is كبرت ولا ايه, بس لو لا I like
بتفرق معاكي؟
لما بقول لنفسي like the first 3 I love you is like عادي, and then the first 3 I love you is like عادي, and then when you keep saying it and you look into your eye you feel like you're looking into your soul.
Isn't it a little weird just talking to yourself in the mirror like hey I love you?
You get used to it. ما هو في الأول لو I love you whatever مرة وخلاص, and then when you really like because أنت your best friend يعني.
Essentially.
You should be your own best friend.
You know yourself the most.
Yes, you should befriend yourself and you shouldn't wait for anyone to validate your ولا feelings ولا نفسك ولا حد يقول لك أنا yourself ولا حد, because nobody will as much as you بجد يعني. لو through the years I've learned that مش مستنية من حد appreciation ولا motivation ولا طبعا it's great to have it, but when you love yourself others will love you and will respect you more. لما يحسوا ان ايه ده لا ده اللي قدامي ده لا ده واخد ده he respects himself يعني لا ده هو بيحب نفسه فحطت نفسه الأول, فهو هيحطك الأول, هيحطك قصدي يعني مش قبله بس هيحطك في حتة لما يلاقي انه you don't take bullshit, you don't take قلة أدب, محدش قلة أدب عليا, محدش يعلي صوته عليا, محدش يعملني وحش, محدش لو أنا نايمة محدش يفتح الشباك وأنا نايمة. if this is something that bothers me, لو أنا مثلا I have my trip, I have مثلا my own trip مسافرة لوحدي, لا I deserve this and they respect that I'm doing this, فبقول لهم لما أنا I take care of myself I can take care of you better. محدش يقول لي رايحة فين, فساعتها بقى يبتدوا هم ايه ده okay go have fun hope يبتدوا هم بقى يبقوا في نفس التراك بتاعك. لكن لما انت بقى تقعدي feeling sorry for yourself وان انا بقى you're stealing خروجه او you're stealing مش عارفه ايه, when you feel guilty that you're not with your kids all that. For this doesn't it's not good. هم بقى يحسوا بقى انت you're not doing enough, you're not here for us, yeah you always go out. فاهم?
They start helping you dig the hole that you're digging for yourself.
Exactly. Once you dig your hole they're gonna يعني
A interest that you have that you use or like you try to as much be in that zone as opposed to like giving yourself me time. What's more important, your interests and the things that you like to do on the side, or your me time? What's the difference of that to you, and what do you prefer?
I think interests could be me time.
Essentially, could be, may not be.
Yeah, like it could be. Like مثلا I used to play the flute when I was back in school, and I started again yesterday, the first time, the first class. This is like an interest that I've been wanting to get back to, and it's a me time. Because it's an hour of you just forget yourself and you're like learning something new. It's considered new because I don't remember it much. And you're learning an instrument, and it was just. This is a me time. مثلا I love dancing. If I take a dancing class, this is a me time, and it's an interest. كده يعني. أو ممكن meditate برضو. It's a me time and it's an interest. And I think anything that's a me time, I'm not gonna just me time. I'm not gonna just sit in me time. يعني مش هقعد not doing anything يعني. I think.
And you and Ahmed still dance? I know that you guys danced right before marriage and stuff.
Yeah, we danced and we met at this مركز الإبداع. We used to take acting classes هناك, acting, we singing, we dancing, and he was my partner in the dancing. Yeah, we were just talking about that the other day. He doesn't dance as much as I do, يعني. I'm the dancer. Yeah. Yeah, I love dancing. Yeah. هو يعني لا مش قوي يعني. لا مش قوي شوية يعني. هو I think any me time is valuable يعني. أي حاجة that they like to do. ما كل واحد مختلف. فلو هما their me time is drinking their coffee مثلا in the balcony بهدوء مفيش حد قاعد. This is amazing. لو هما مثلا they like to do yoga. I love yoga. Yoga for me is like if I like to do massages جدا. Massages is like oh my god me time. حاجات كتير. لا I do a lot of stuff يعني me time بس بتعملي لها بقى time management. يعني مثلا an hour a day شوفي بقى بس لازم كل يوم because if you lose it then هتلاقي فجأة 3 weeks passed and you haven't done anything for yourself.
تمام. And finally, Aola, if we can leave the audience with a final statement, a positive takeaway, what would it be?
أهلا وسهلا. فجأة في الآخر أهلا وسهلا. لا I think something that I can يعني it's an advice أو نصيحة أو يعني حاجة that I believe in is that you should always stay real to yourself. Be who you are, like know who you are. If you don't know who you are, work on knowing who you are through بقى many things. يعني you can journal. It's very important to journal. تكتبي عن how you feel, things that bother you, things about you. برضو journaling is very important to do every day. Know who you are, be true to yourself, and never give up on your dreams. Really, it's not a word يعني تتقال never give up on your dreams, بس فعلا never give up on who you really are, because the universe وربنا will always bring down to you who you really are, will always get back. يعني لو انتي you really know who you are and you have a dream and you believe in yourself and your dream is who you really are, then you'll make it. You'll make it one day. بس كده.
Thank you, Aola. Thank you so much for joining us.
I had so much fun.
So did I. And thank you for giving us all this beautiful information about you and just letting us be closer to who you are as an individual and the personality. We do appreciate it. نورتي صدمة.
الله يخليك بنورة صدمة يعني. شكرا. Thank you. Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah!